We are also thrilled to have our 3 judges here with us. They took time before this event to review all of the final 5 business plans. They scored them. That's 60% of the judging that goes on for tonight's plan. As the students make their presentations, the judges will ask them questions, kind of like on Shark Tank. They might be no, I know Robert, he's not going to be nice. No, it's fine, I'm just kidding. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then when they're done with all of the pitches, you'll have a chance in the audience to score and have a time to rank the teams through a website. And the judges will also give rankings to these presentations. And by the end of the night, we will be able to crown 3 winners, giving out $10,000 of prize money, $5,000, $3,000, and $2,000 for first, second, and third. Let's meet our judges for tonight. So first, we have Janice Snyder. She is a partner and director of assurance services at McConley & Asbury. With over 20 years of experience in public accounting, she spent 11 of those years at an international accounting firm. Janice has specialized in serving healthcare entities, for-profit family-owned, and foreign-owned businesses and other nonprofit organizations throughout Pennsylvania and northern Maryland. She is married to Jason, and they have 2 children, Logan and Kara. Community service is a very significant part of her life, and she assists clients with financial settlements, audits, reviews, employee benefit plans, implementing new accounting pronouncements, as well as many other things in her 8 to 5 job. Thank you, Janice, for joining us. Robert William. Robert was born in Chennai, India, but was raised in 3 different countries in Africa prior to coming to Messiah in 1978. At Messiah, he studied business administration and was active in student organizations, serving as the president of the International Student Association. After attaining his master's in public administration from Shippensburg in 1984, Robert worked for the PA state government in trade and business development roles. When he left the state, he started his work in study abroad programs and has been a very integral piece of Messiah University's International Business Institute program, as he has organized the program portions in India, China, and Dubai over the past 10 years. Robert is the founder and president and CEO of Pennsylvania Center for International Exchange and Partnership based in Elizabethtown, which promotes study abroad programs with partner institutions in India, Greece, South Africa, United Arab Emirates, and China. He currently serves as well here at Messiah University on the President's Leadership Council. Welcome, Robert. And our third judge for tonight is Mr. Mike Swartz. Mike and his wife completed their undergraduate degrees here at Messiah as well. They have 5 kids, ages 15 to 24, and live in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. He also holds an MBA from Penn State. Mike spent the first half of his career mainly in the financial services in various positions, working for the Vanguard Group, and was a former partner in a financial planning firm. He currently owns and leads the Home Instead Senior Care in Annville, Pennsylvania. He has been involved with the Impact Venture Challenge since 2015, when his good friend Peter Greer convinced him it would be a great opportunity to share his business experience and convictions of integrating his faith in the workplace. He stated he has a great time giving back to Messiah over the years, and we are thankful for his willingness to serve as a judge this year. Welcome, Mike. Thank you. And I am thrilled to now introduce to you the MC for tonight, Ms. Shay Stoltzfus. She is a senior business administration major here at Messiah, a member of the women's soccer team that won the national championship last year, and she was also an Impact Venture Challenge finale and winner, second place or third place? Third place last year. So it's my great honor to turn the MC role over to Shay for the evening. Welcome, Shay, and thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Babiak. I'm super blessed to be able to be the student lead on this. It's definitely something that has helped me grow. And, you guys are really going to enjoy all these different business plans. So starting us off is Kneaded Pretzel Co. with Mason Nisley, Jana Kryak, and Brent Coward. So you can give them a round of applause.
Hello everyone, we are Kneaded Pretzel Co. and we're here to sell you on an experience. The product we are offering are customizable gourmet soft pretzels, as can be seen in the screen behind me. Now imagine you guys are in the mood for a soft pretzel right now. Think to yourselves, where would you go? Well, I'll tell you where you would go. The two options you have currently are located in Camp Hill, where you can go to the Philly Pretzel Factory, where you can buy a mediocre, pretty generic soft pretzel, or you can either go to Capital City Mall, where you can wander around the mall until you stumble upon an Auntie Anne's that's tucked away in the corner. Now, the problem with this, there are very limited local pretzel shops within the area. On top of this, we do not see a wide variety of range in customization that these pretzel companies offer. And also, there are 0 pretzel factories or shops located in the Carlisle and Mechanicsburg area. One of the other issues that we are planning to address is local food insecurity within the area. In fact, over 13% of central Pennsylvanians suffer from food insecurity, which is something that we are hoping to help improve.
Our solution, customizable soft pretzels. We offer customers the opportunity and experience of ordering a gourmet customizable soft pretzel. No more of this overpaying for an inadequate soft pretzel from your local pretzel shop like Auntie Anne's or Philly Pretzel Co. We have a mobile food truck, which makes it easy and fun to customize your soft pretzel.
When you walk up to our Kneaded Pretzel Company food truck, you can choose from 4 different pretzel options as your base pretzel to start off your customizable gourmet soft pretzel. So the prices range from $2.50 to $5 for your customizable pretzel. We'll offer a cinnamon sugar pretzel as well as a plain salted pretzel. So these 2 pretzels that you see here are actually from our first batch of buttery soft pretzels, and they came out tasting great. So for your customizable pretzel, to make it your very own, you can add any toppings. We have sauces such as plain icing or even seasonal icings, such as a sweet strawberry icing in the summer season or pumpkin spice icing in the fall season. And then for toppings, you can add anything from rainbow and chocolate sprinkles to crushed peanuts to powdered sugar. So at Kneaded Pretzel Company, you have the freedom to make any kind of pretzel you want, from a chocolate lover's pretzel to a plain simple pretzel with plain icing on it. Whatever combination you can envision, you can make.
So one of the great things about our business model is that we're going to be operating out of a food truck. With that, there's low startup costs involved. So we are projected to be fully operational with just spending roughly $50,000 to $70,000 on the food truck, ingredients, et cetera. We will see total sales of around $45,000 in the first year. We will still incur a net deficit of around $33,000. However, due to additional marketing strategies and additional items to the menu, we will be profitable in year 3, where we will see net sales of around $187,000, which will give us a net profit of roughly $68,000 in year 3. One of our other main impacts is to donate about 5% of our sales to Bethesda Mission Outreach, which is located in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and Jana will later talk on this topic. And we're proud to project that in year 3 we'll be able to donate roughly $10,000 to Bethesda Outreach, and they'll be able to use those funds to help families that are suffering from food insecurity.
Our path to customers, we'll be focusing on social media marketing due to its relative ease and its inexpensivity. Various location and events, such as like partnering with local colleges, different events like Carlisle Fairground, and locations such as like downtown Harrisburg to get our product out there. For our target market, anybody can enjoy our pretzels, but we focus in on the range of 4 to 36 years old due to the fact that at 36, from 16 to 36 is those who use social media the most, and little kids enjoy and love creating and making and eating soft pretzels. We're also going to focus in the tri-area of Mechanicsburg, Carlisle, and Harrisburg because that is the area we are based out of and is close to us.
As a company, we have recognized the local issue of food insecurity and homelessness in Mechanicsburg, Carlisle, and Harrisburg. So to play a role in our local community, we've decided to partner with Bethesda Mission Outreach, which is located right around the corner in Mechanicsburg. So Bethesda Mission is a rescue mission that provides shelter, food, and counseling for hurting and homeless men, women, and children. In the past month, Bethesda has averaged housing 60 men and 6 women per night. They've also donated 17,712 pounds of food. They served 5,036 meals, and then also provided 735 medical services. So with partnering with Bethesda Mission, we hope to grow these numbers and act as a bridge between our local partners and our customers. So through the avenue of selling customizable soft pretzels, we'll be able to help our customers help Bethesda Mission in their need in helping the homeless and in need in our local areas.
Yeah, so if we were to win the prize fund from this competition, we would first use the money to seek professional legal counsel, where we could help establish ourselves as a legal entity. Then with any money left over from that, we would use it to purchase t-shirts, which we have already designed, as you can see on the slide behind me. And then lastly, with any money left over from that, we would use the funds to do some R&D where we would get a little more creative and come up with different customization and different options for our pretzels.
We are a Needed Pretzel Company.
You know you need it.
Thank you, guys. So your first question is going to come from Robert.
All right. Thank you for the presentation. My question is, what is your strategy for establishing those partnerships with the corporations and other companies in the area where you're going to have to park your mobile unit and get your foot in the door in terms of having access?
Sure. So we've had a mentor who we've talked to about this, trying to find different ways to get licensing in the town of Harrisburg, or to kind of bounce around to 2 different locations. So we've looked up and talked with him just to come up with different solutions to be able to find out what ways and what pathways to navigate to basically obtain these licenses. And then it might look like reaching out to certain restaurants in the area, or different parks, or the Carlisle Fairgrounds, where we could reach out to them and basically set up a booth out there to sell our pretzels.
Terrific.
And then your last question is from Janice.
Great, thank you. I love your tagline, you know you need it.
Thank you.
But my question is about your pretzels. So tell me a little bit, nothing proprietary of course, but how you're making your pretzels, where you're going to get your ingredients, who your suppliers are, and who's going to be the one in the truck that's in charge of that, and they know how to run a sanitary kitchen, those sorts of things.
That would probably be me. We would get our items in bulk from various locations around the area that we would partner with and try and hopefully get discounts with. I've not worked in the food industry before, but I would be willing to do whatever it takes to run a successful food truck, including putting in the long hours that it would take and the daily toll.
Great, thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You can head out then. All right, our second group for the night is Igloo, the Private Smart Home, with Zach Holzinger and Patrick Howard. You guys can give them a round of applause as they walk in.
Today, the world's most valuable resource is no longer oil, but rather data. And with the innovation of new technology and smart devices, companies are able to access data more than ever before. With this increased data usage, companies are able to improve their product offerings and services. But in addition to this, companies are able to sell all the data that they've collected off to other companies for a profit as well. This practice is becoming so commonplace that products are now being designed with data collection in mind. One day, my roommates and I were watching SpongeBob. So underneath our TV stand, we had an Amazon Echo Dot. This Echo Dot was paired to my roommate's Amazon account, and so we watched a couple of episodes of SpongeBob, and by the next night, he was receiving all sorts of SpongeBob advertisements on his Amazon account. So somewhere along the line, Amazon caught wind that there was a new viewer of SpongeBob, and tailored advertisements to reach this newfound viewer. Now, from a business and marketing standpoint, we see this as a great success. You're getting advertisements to people that it's relevant to. However, the implications of this process are a little troubling. With the innovation of new technology, ethical lines are becoming increasingly blurred. To what extent are companies willing to go to gather data on their customers? And how much privacy and security do customers of these products actually have?
So it was Christmas, my freshman year of college, when I received one of my favorite gifts I've ever received, an Amazon Echo Dot. I thought the technology was awesome, and having the ability to control a piece of technology with my voice was the coolest thing ever. So I quickly hooked it up to Spotify and started controlling lights in my room as I listened to some groovy tunes. Also, being an engineering major, I wanted to understand how it worked and pop the hood open, so to speak. And it was upon doing this that I learned a couple things. The first is that it's really complicated. And what I also learned is that from every point in this complicated diagram, Alexa is using the information that you give it to build a profile about you and then sell that to Facebook and Google. The more pressing concern, more than this invasion of privacy that I realized, however, was hackers. Traditional hacking involves getting information about you, but hacking the Amazon Alexa allows someone to take control of the home that you live in. These days, the threats that we face are not only from attackers in the night seeking to break into our homes and steal, but we also face a threat digitally. So if we're taking attempts to put locks on our windows, we should be able to do the same to protect our digital home as well as our physical. Our solution is Igloo. Igloo is a privacy-centered smart home ecosystem, which name comes from the word it embodies. With Igloo, you're able to achieve all of the modern conveniences that you have of a normal smart home, like lights, switches, buttons, and actually 9 different categories of devices that we just simply can't put here today. The important thing with Igloo is that your data is stored at your house. Your data is stored at your house. You guys hear me? Good. Your data is stored at your house. With Igloo, your data is not stored on a cloud somewhere else, and it is not tracked and sold. No profiles are built about you, and you can have the comfort and security of using all of the features of a modern-day smart home to completely replace an Alexa ecosystem without having to worry about digital privacy. In short, Igloo keeps data in the hands of its consumers.
As followers of Jesus, Igloo operates on biblical principles. As it says in 2 Corinthians 8:21, "For we are taking pains to do what is right, not only in the eyes of the Lord, but also in the sight of man." When we remember that the treatment of others is the goal and not the making money, we remember that truly the purpose is in service to one another. We are able to make an impact upon God's kingdom by the way we treat our customers and handle their digital privacy. God has given us the opportunity to bring back transparency, trust, and fairness back into the industry.
Turns out, we're not the only people who could use a little bit more privacy in this industry. In fact, over 80% of the people who actively use these types of products are aware of the privacy concerns and the tracking that's going on while they're using them. They just simply aren't willing to sacrifice the convenience that it brings. And I get it. I was the same way. There wasn't a solution like this before. In fact, a lot of people won't buy these products because of that very issue. And it's because of this, and because of the focus that we want to have on our customers, that Igloo plans to sell all of their products through a website, through packages. With the packages, which are configurations of devices, combinations of our Igloo setup here, we can give a customer a specific purpose for what they're buying so that they know what they're getting. And through this selling on the website, we hope to have one-to-one Zoom help sessions to help them install everything, and on a regional basis, we're actually able to go and install these physically. With this working prototype, the low capital costs for it being completely custom, built from the ground up, we're able to keep our capital costs very low and actually start selling Igloo tomorrow if we wanted. Through all of this, we also want to make an impact to our community. And with these packages, in our first year plan, we want to go into 10 homes or sell 10 packages. We want to do this to establish a customer base, and because our capital is so low, we can afford to start out very small. Year 2, we'd like to expand and go into 16 more homes and really dive into our community. This means partnering with local businesses, like construction companies, to market our product while they're marketing theirs. That way, we grow not only our company, but theirs while diving and growing in our community. Our third year, we'd like to be able to pay off of our debt that we've accrued for the first 2 years, go into 37 more homes with the growth that we've achieved in our community thus far, and get a revenue of $16,000. We believe that this 3-year plan is enough that we need to make a lasting and sustainable impact in our community, not only in the smart home market, but in the smart home industry worldwide.
As Jesus teaches us, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And for Igloo, that means protecting our customers and their homes by providing a quality product that they can enjoy and not fear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Zach and Patrick. Your first question is going to come from Mike.
Thanks, guys. I read through your plan a couple times. It's thorough, and you guys are definitely gifted and innovative. My question is, the appeal of these Internet of Things devices is seamless, integration through their ecosystems. Think of Apple, think of Amazon. I think of those kinds of things. Buying, music, internet connectivity, those kind of things. Other than being more secure and private, how would you market your device to convince people it's more appealing? Or better said, how would you differentiate Igloo from established products through what you refer to in your business plan as a competitive feature set?
That's a very good question. So in short, Igloo does not use the internet. So that means that you can get all the features of a smart home without having your data stored elsewhere. The reason why that's important is because you don't have to worry about security threats, downtime from servers, or potential for your data to be breached. And all of this happens without compromising any of the features that other competitors have. Also, due to its low cost and low capital, you're able to invest in the local community and participate in something to help start up a community.
Thanks.
Okay, and then your last question is from Janice.
Great. In your presentation, you wrote about needing a working prototype. So it looks like you have one. Can you tell me a little bit about the working prototype and next steps you will take with that prototype?
So what you see here is a very small representation of what it actually is. As you can see here, you have the Igloo, which is the place where your data is stored. There's actually a little computer in there that's going to be storing all of your data for you. And we have an iOS and Android free app that you can download to configure. That's what you use to configure everything. And along with that, here we have switches and lights, but there's actually 9 different categories of devices that are currently working in this system. Things like switches, buttons, pressure sensors, light sensors, a whole skew of things that you can use through the phone app to configure to control different things, very similar to Alexa routines. And our next steps to take this product on the road is with the cases that we're able to produce by purchasing things like 3D printers and routers, we're able to manufacture everything in-house and be able to fill orders as fast as we can print things.
All right, perfect. Thank you, guys. You can head off that way. Next, we have the Oda Company with Sam Durkis, Matt Coleman, and Nathan Nube.
I'd like to start by sharing a story with you. I've been an athlete my entire life, and I came to Messiah specifically for the track and field program. However, it didn't take me long to realize that I cared way more about the team aspect than the sport itself. And when I came to that conclusion, I was entirely lost as to what would come next in my life. That question was answered the very next day when my friend came up to me and said, "Hey, Sam, do you want to go rock climbing?" That opened me up to an entirely new world of outdoor experiences that I had never been exposed to before. This gave me newfound confidence going forward into the next stages of my life. And that's where Oda comes in. We understand the barriers that exist in getting into new outdoor activities. It is our desire as a company to better give people opportunities into the outdoors and to expose them to the things that we love so dearly.
We at the Oda Company believe that outdoor adventure should be available to everyone. But all too often, it can be way too expensive. And on top of that, it can be extraordinarily difficult to store, especially for college students in a college dorm. However, we aim to solve this issue and maintain the availability of these opportunities for everyone. Our service revolves around providing access to a large variety of outdoor equipment by payment of a monthly subscription fee. This fee guarantees access to our subscribers for an unlimited amount throughout the duration of their subscription. And that's why we coined the term ODA, because we are effectively the on-demand adventure company. For $25 a month, which will be the price that our subscribers pay, they'll have unlimited access to kayaks, river tubes, hiking equipment, and tents. We believe that we present a very new and unique value and look very much forward to seeing how the market interprets it. Although our main source of revenue we expect to come from our subscribers, we still want to offer access to our equipment to non-subscribers. For $15 per piece of equipment used, a non-subscriber can take out anything they want from our inventory. This falls well within our mission statement, effectively guaranteeing access to the outdoors to anyone who wants it.
For since the creation of the world, God's incredible work he has done, we tend to ask ourselves a question: how do we seek God? Well, we as the Order Company believe you can seek God in creation. Spending time in creation allows time for a greater understanding of your relationship with God. It helps you strengthen that relationship with God. Time in creation allows for greater physical, mental, and spiritual clarity. It allows you to see the Lord differently. We as the Order Company want this to reach a large community.
And based upon these beliefs and our mission statement as a company, our impact is centered around better involving our local communities in an outdoor experience. We intend on doing this by collaborating with local businesses that have the same values as we do. This would include places like rock climbing gyms or bike shops. And then every month, we will take a portion of our revenue earnings and invest them back into the community by hosting free events. By making them both social and free, we're exposing people to the outdoors, which we have come to know and love so well. We also see a clear distinction and a clear collaboration between local business and community outreach, and we plan to fuse the two together. We see this as our social responsibility to serve the people in the community and the businesses that serve this community. It is our utmost calling as a company to do this.
We understand that it's going to take a while and a lot of hard work to begin to turn a profit. And we don't expect this to happen until at least our third year of operations. But we're encouraged by the fact that our profit margin looks to be significant. As you can see in our revenue versus cost of goods sold graph, our revenue will exceed our cost of goods sold by a fair margin. This will allow us to take that money and reinvest it into the company, allowing us to expand and grow over the next few years. Speaking of expansion, we have a few things mapped out that we'd like to accomplish over the next few years. Some of them have actually already been done, such as our wonderful logo and the shirts we're wearing on stage today. Moving forward past the Impact Venture Challenge, we plan to invest in a website and application, allowing customers to interact and communicate with us to inquire about inventory availability. From there, we'll begin selling t-shirts as well as other apparel, generating some revenue for our company in the early stages. That revenue will be used to invest in outdoor equipment, and then we'll be able to open our first location. Once our first location is opened, we'll begin growing our team. And over the next few years, we'll begin the great adventure of expanding outward into new and exciting territories.
Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. We are the Order Company. Adventures are out there. You can be too.
Thank you, guys. That was a fantastic presentation. Your first question is going to come from Mike.
Hey, that was a great job. You guys are confident and it was concise. I appreciated the presentation and reading your plan as well. Okay, two important components of a successful business are the ability to scale and then be sustainable. So you've definitely identified a niche and you have an idea to fill that need. That's good. Under the business and impact product services section of the plan of your paper, you mentioned a franchising model. But I didn't see it mentioned again. So I want you to talk about that a little bit. Do you think a franchising model is the best way to grow this business? And I don't want to ask a closed-end, a yes or no question, so I'll expand on it a little bit. Do you have other ideas that you can share? Basically, how do you plan on growing and scaling the business?
Yeah, it's a phenomenal question. So we've thought about this a lot. And as we begin to scale and expand this business, we want to both expand in location as well as in equipment that we provide. So we'll start looking at different geographical regions and see what outdoor adventures are most popular in those areas. In this area, we have hiking, kayaking, skiing to an extent with Round Top. That may be something that we expand into. Surfing may be something that we expand into in an ocean area. So as we begin to move out and expand our reach, we'll use the franchising model, which not only increases the inventory and stock that we have, but it increases the convenience factor of our model. Subscribers can use our service, travel wherever they want to, not have to lug their stuff around, and they can access our service, take out what they want, and go on their next adventure.
Great, thanks.
Great, thank you. And then your last question is going to come from Robert.
Hi, thank you. That was a great presentation. I want to push a little bit on your faith aspect of your business. In a Christian college environment, that's easy in terms of sharing. But when you go beyond and into the community, how do you continue to convey that message in terms of your own personal faith commitment and how you see to transfer that as a business, as you operate as a business?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Rom. That's a good question. So it is going to be mentioned in our mission statement that we are a faith-based company. And our people, all the employees that are going to be part of our team, we are going to have models where we are going to be talking about our faith. And we're going to be partnering with local companies, mostly that are around our communities. And through those aspects of talking about the business, we are hopeful that we can share with them our faith, and we are hopeful that with them interacting in the outdoors, they can see how our faith and the outdoors come in line.
All right,
Thank you. Yeah.
perfect. Thank you, guys. Our fourth team of the night is Essential Coffee by Danny Loving.
When I was in high school, I attended 2 missions trips to the Dominican Republic and Jamaica. While on these trips, I had some amazing experiences. I was able to see God work in some awesome ways. However, the poverty I saw was eye-opening and deeply saddening. I remember one moment specifically on a street in Barahona in the Dominican Republic. I pulled out a granola bar without thinking anything of it. All of a sudden, I had kids coming up to me in search of some extra food. I fully realized in this moment the extremity of the poverty that the people of these countries find themselves in. Seeing the effects of this poverty firsthand sparked a desire to help. Fast forward a few years, and I still have that desire to help, and I also have a newfound love for coffee. Today, more than 3 billion people live on less than $2.50 a day. An estimated 1.3 billion people live in a state of extreme poverty. Many of the countries that experience these levels of poverty are found along the coffee belt, an imaginary strip of land that hosts the rich tropical environment perfect for growing coffee. Despite coffee exporting being a $20 billion industry, and the coffee industry as a whole being worth over $100 billion worldwide, and coffee being the world's second most sought-after commodity following crude oil, coffee farmers in the countries that they come from remain the world's underclass. There are an estimated 12.5 million smallholder farms that produce about 80% of the world's coffee beans. However, they earn less than 10% of the sale value of that coffee. Today, there are efforts to encourage fair practices between consumers and the farmers in the form of fair trade coffee. However, we believe that is not enough, and more needs to be done to not only help impoverished coffee farmers, but also the countries that they come from. Ultimately, we see that a disconnect exists between coffee consumers and where their coffee beans are sourced, and we want to help bridge that gap. On the other hand, the coffee industry is booming. Studies show the coffee industry is experiencing extreme growth and is expected to reach $85 billion in the United States by the year 2025. In addition to this, studies prove that flavor innovation is exciting consumers now more than ever. Introducing Essential Coffee, innovative coffee with a bold mission, giving back to those who make coffee possible. Essential Coffee is a coffee shop that plans on providing their customers with a new and unique innovation to their coffee and a theological impact that spans across the globe. Our innovation in the way that coffee is done is through infusing essential oils into our coffee. Growing increasingly popular, essential oils are highly concentrated compounds extracted from plants that offer a variety of health benefits, ranging from reducing stress to providing antioxidants and immunity-boosting properties. The essential oils are infused with the coffee during the brewing process, and this allows consumers to not only have multiple flavors that they can now add into their coffee, but also have health benefits attached to each flavor that they can now consume. To make this a possibility, Essential Coffee is planning on working with Bold Hope. Bold Hope is a Christian missions organization that I went on my missions trip with in high school. They offer missions to many of the countries in which Essential Coffee will plan on sourcing our beans from. The disruptive product of essential oil coffee is just the first half of what makes us so special. Essential Coffee will be putting 10 cents from every cup of coffee sold towards funding missions trips. The country that this missions trip will take place in is determined by where that coffee bean was sourced from. For example, if you were to buy a lavender essential oil latte made from an Ethiopian blend of coffee, 10 cents from that sale would go to support missions trips in Ethiopia. Through this initiative, Essential Coffee hopes to raise up to $20,000 by year 3 based off of our projections. The markets for our product appear to be largely geared towards younger generations. In this graph generated from Mintel data, it is evident that younger generations, specifically ages 18 to 34, are most interested in trying coffee that is overall healthier, as we can see in the protein and no sugar categories, or coffee that has immunity-boosting ingredients, vitamins, and unique flavors. All of these categories that younger generations are disproportionately interested in are fulfilled by our essential oil coffee product. Because of this, we plan on targeting this age range of 18 to 34-year-olds, of whom are willing to pay for specialty coffee. This demographic is extremely active on social media, and thus will be using a social media marketing strategy. We'll focus heavily on gaining social media traction through paid ads, growing our own accounts, reaching out to local businesses and influencers in order for them to spread the word about Essential Coffee on their own platforms. Based off of our projections, we plan on breaking even around year 2 and passing a profit on year 3. Year 1 for us will look a lot like establishing our market and establishing the name of Essential Coffee in our consumers' minds. Year 2, we hope to expand our consumer base as well as our product line. Year 3, we hope to finally make a profit and also potentially roast our own coffee beans in-house. We are aware of the immense difficulties that come with a startup and are attempting to the best of our ability to be realistic regarding these projections. Essential Coffee would put the $5,000 prize money to great use if we were able to receive it. This money would help us to pay for further validation in the form of farmers markets, trials, and more. It would also help to help Essential Coffee get off the ground in the form of rent, business permits and patents, and equipment capital. Ultimately, Essential Coffee has the opportunity for great theological impact. We aim to treat our customers with love, be an example of Christ in all that we do. We also will reach and hope to change the lives of those we give back to through our missions initiative. In addition to aiding the impoverished economically and through works, through our missions efforts, we'll be expanding the Word of God across the globe. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Danny. Your first question is going to come from Janice.
Great. So your faith and mission are evident throughout the presentation, but I think you also have a very unique idea with your essential oil coffee. So talk a little bit about the flavors of the coffee. Will you use that in teas or any other products? And what kind of like your first store opening would look like?
Yeah, so the essential oils that we would plan on using are from Young Living. You may have heard of them. They're one of the main brands that sell essential oils. They have a Vitality line that specifically has essential oils that are safe for consumption. So they have like so many flavors that you can't name them all, but specifically we'd use ones such as cinnamon, peppermint, lavender, orange, and we could offer them seasonally as well, such as offering peppermint essential oil lattes, cappuccinos during the winter, or orange and lavender during the spring and summer. So we could be able to do that, and also they have we could have different options as well for different health benefits in supporting that as well.
Awesome, thank you. Your next question is going to come from Robert.
Thank you for that presentation. I was a little curious in terms of just the concept of putting a couple of drops of essential oil into your coffee or tea. When you did your survey and market research, did you find that there was resistance to this, or it was exciting to the folks you talked to or surveyed? Or
Yeah, so this has actually never been done before, and it's actually a little bit more complicated than just pouring essential oil into your coffee. It's not something that you can easily replicate, just like replicate at home or do it yourself. You actually take the essential oils and infuse them into the coffee during the brewing process, so pour them onto the grinds. We'd use the pour-over method, and so you'd pour the water over the essential oils and the grinds mixed together. And in doing market research for the essential oils and the coffee, they're both on such a positive trajectory. And I would think that many of the people who are interested in coffee also tend to be interested in essential oils as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert, and thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
All right, and our final group of the night is QuickSight with Josh Gerber, Tanner Stern, and Justin Chan.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you well know, the internet is perhaps the most powerful marketing tool in today's global economy. I can almost guarantee you've visited some company's website in the last 24 hours.
For many businesses and organizations, using the web to market products or services is key to reaching out to potential clients and customers.
However, small businesses, nonprofits, and churches all over the world lack the time, the resources, and the skills to develop a professional online presence. And without this presence, these organizations are missing out on lots of potential business.
For the artisan in Ukraine and the farm stand owner in rural Pennsylvania, the task of developing and implementing an effective online presence is daunting. They simply lack the skills, time, and money to do it themselves. Large do-it-yourself platforms oversell the simplicity of their products, and a professional web developer is expensive and time-consuming. Obtaining a website need not be done at a snail's pace. To address these needs, we've developed QuickSight, a web app which automatically generates a website based on the user's design needs and preferences. At QuickSight, our mission is to market the creativity and ingenuity of the world's small businesses, further incorporating them into the global economy, elevating their dignity, and spurring sustainable growth. Our vision is to create the opportunity for all to compete fairly in the global economy.
Our QuickSight web walks users through the creation of their website, allowing them to enter information about their business and helping them make brilliant design decisions.
Yeah, our emphasis is speed and simplicity. Your business information populates one of our pre-made site templates, and your design preferences make it your own. All of this is done within the setup form, which provides helpful tips and prompts throughout the process. Absolutely no prior web development experience is required. And that's important. 44% of US small businesses don't have any kind of website, and that number is even higher in rural America at 67%. All told, the underutilization of online tools and technology correlates to unrealized sales growth of about 18.3% every 3 years. That's every 3 years for these small businesses. Oh, and of course, let us talk about churches. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you know of a church that has a good website?
Not me.
Exactly. The truth is, 35% of U.S. nonprofits openly admit that they need help with their website, and we want to help.
Yes, as such, our target market includes small businesses and organizations who lack the skills, time, and money to develop a website themselves. This includes retail shop owners, restaurant owners, churches, and so on.
A manager who knows their business well enough can build their church site in less than 15 minutes. 15 minutes?
15
yes.
minutes?
Here we see some of the steps in building a church site. So, different organizations have different needs. So the process of building a website is very dynamic. For example, a restaurant will be asked about their menu items, and a church will be asked about their worship services.
Yes, and QuickSite will help you to manage and maintain your website over time. You can change your hours, you can change menu prices, you can even send announcements to your patrons all quickly and easily through the web app. And here on the right, we see an example website that would be developed with QuickSite. It's for a church. It's clean, it's professional, and it's mobile friendly because our web app and our sites are all mobile first. All you need is a smartphone to get a website for yourself.
Yes, our primary revenue stream at QuickSite comes from our monthly subscription fees. We'll be using a tiered pricing model as shown on the screen. In year one, we aim to secure 190 subscriptions. With aggressive year-over-year sales growth of 100%, we will be at 760 by year three, giving us a net income of $64,774. Our startup costs include development fees, legal fees, and hosting service fees, which come into a total of $9,804.
Our marketing plan begins with grassroots efforts. In year one, you'll be contacting businesses directly. By contacting regional and denominational church offices directly, we could reach hundreds of churches just in Pennsylvania alone. We'll also be developing a social media presence on Facebook and Instagram to grow our brand.
Absolutely, and as our brand expands, we will also be using more distributed means of marketing, including our own website, which will be beautiful, placing banner advertisements on our partners' websites, as well as running a Google Ads campaign that will help us to compete with the big boys like Squarespace.
Yes, QuickSite's impact is baked into its platform. Our team believes for-profit businesses is the best way to go to develop economies. Our website will spur growth for global small businesses in developing countries.
Amen.
Yes, so we'll be offering access codes to nonprofit partners like Hope International, Forgotten Voices International, and others who have boots on the ground working with small businesses in developing countries. These access codes will allow their clients to use our service free of charge.
Ladies and gentlemen, marketing the creativity and ingenuity of the world's small businesses need not be done at a snail's pace. And here at QuickSite, we believe we can deliver a service that will help launch the world's servants and entrepreneurs to the next level. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh, Tanner, and Jostin. Your first question is going to come from Janice.
Great, thank you. I enjoyed the energy of your presentation. You certainly focus on your business model on speed and simplicity, which I think is really, really important. But you also note 190 subscriptions in year one. So how are you going to ensure customer satisfaction and positive feedback from 190 different relationships and ensure that speed and simplicity comes through, and that's the type of feedback and reviews they're giving you?
Yeah, so part of building the app will be including in it some feedback module so that our customers will be able to talk to us and tell us what they like and what they don't like. But particularly for the beginning, for those first 190 subscribers, it's going to be a lot of person-to-person communication. Like our target market for the Pennsylvania area, I mean, we're going to be based here in Mechanicsburg area. So our goal is to be not some organization that's out in California that nobody knows. We want to be able to be open 8 to 5 so that they can come to us, ask us, hey, this isn't working for us. We need to work through these requirements. We would like to have something different on this particular page. You know, that's the kind of feedback loop that we want for at least the first year. And as we go further, it'll be a little more handled in the app, but that's the basic idea.
Awesome, thank you. And then your last question is going to come from Mike.
Great job. You guys are sharp. You understand, I think, your market and your idea. I'm really, really impressed, not only with your presentation, but with your business plan. And your idea resonates with me personally. I've been involved with Hope International since 2004 in different capacities, and it's just a great ministry. And I think your idea fits well with just the idea of microfinance and the idea of giving people a hand up and not a handout. So I applaud you on that. Part of the competition is looking for businesses that are going to be viable and sustainable. And those are keys to success. You mentioned about not-for-profits and maybe giving some of your services away for free. What other streams of revenue that have you explored or you can think of other than your subscription services? So I'm thinking of a company like Shopify, who they create, they allow companies to create websites, but they also have Shopify shipping and capital and plus and things like marketing and advertising, things like that. Have you thought about, other than subscription services, how you're going to keep this company viable and growing?
Sure. Yeah, great question. So we've discussed wanting to expand beyond just offering an app that will create a website for our users. We want to eventually be able to offer actually marketing consulting, which would be more personal and actually having people on staff who can talk to them to go beyond just the website and other aspects of their marketing campaign. And we also have discussed ways that we might include helping our customers deal with the shipping of their products and the online store and things like that, to where we're going to be more than just a web development app, and we're actually going to be helping facilitate transactions eventually. But in our initial year, just to get it going and to build it and to get some initial income, we're just going to focus on the app itself, and then we hope to expand that to other means in the future.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mike. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So now we're going to hear a little bit from Brian Gilroy, class of 2019, and he's going to talk about our sponsors.
Hey guys, my name's Brian. I graduated from Messiah in 2019. I had the privilege of helping with the Impact Venture Challenge for a few years now. I'm just going to go over how the next few things are going to go. We're going to give out 3 prizes, $5,000, $3,000, and $2,000. 60% of their score has been based on the written plans, 20% by the judge's vote, and 20% by your vote here and your vote at home. When I'm done, the poll will be officially open. Voting will be open for 5 minutes, and you can either use the link below or the QR code. I'd also like to give a special thanks to the organization committee. Can we give a round of applause to them? The organizing committee has done a lot of work behind the scenes, working with our teams. They've been really helpful. So the voting is open. You can go ahead. Our 2 sponsors for the 2021 Impact Venture Challenge are Highmark Health and Elevation Outreach. Craig Flemons, an active Messiah alum and employee of Highmark Health, sends his greetings tonight, and we have a short video to show on behalf of Highmark Health. Thanks.
When you shop with Highmark Blue Shield, you get connected to an entire family of health. Beyond our great medical plans, we can also connect you with the innovative companies we work with that can bring you data-driven solutions to save you money. What kind of solutions? Think about provider collaborations, dental, post-acute care solutions, reinsurance solutions, and technology-based services. It's a whole family of health, working towards higher quality care and better outcomes for your company. See what it means to have it all with Highmark. Get started on your plan today.
One more round of applause for Highmark Health. Our other sponsor tonight is Elevation Outreach. Elevation Outreach is a ministry of Elevation Church based in Charlotte, North Carolina. Josh Wood, class of 2012, serves as their national director. Their mission is to see people far from God raised to life in Christ. You can learn more about their impact through this video or sign up to serve from them anywhere in the world by going to elevationoutreach.org.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Stacy here, calling in from Convoy of Hope headquarters in Springfield, Missouri. I serve as our U.S. Director of Disaster Services.
I'm Liz Clayson Kelly. I'm CEO of Men's Shelter Charlotte and Urban Ministry Center. We serve people experiencing homelessness. We serve about 1,200 people a day in Charlotte, North Carolina.
My name is Jeremy Courtney. I lead an organization called Preemptive Love. I am calling in right now from Iraq.
I believe God has positioned us for a miracle. You're positioned for a miracle. I know that's hard to believe, but desperation is the setup for revelation.
My name is Marco Rodriguez. I am at the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina at the Raleigh branch. We are witnessing more people needing more food.
Most of the time when we're responding to a disaster, we're always working in a geographically local area. And how COVID is different for us is the fact that the area that we're serving is nationwide, which adds logistical challenges.
The refugee community around the world is going to be some of the most hard-hit people. Just in the last week, I would say we've probably gotten calls from 50,000 people represented asking for urgent food support. And that's just within a 3-hour drive.
And so when God gets involved, he positions us for miracles. God, why won't you do a miracle? This is a miracle. Like right now, in this moment, take a breath, it's a miracle.
Coming into the COVID crisis, we were looking at our shelter and recognizing our beds were too close together. We had a massive transformation to make it socially distanced. Who could get together? Great volunteers on a dime's notice. Who am I going to call? I'm going to call Elevation.
Now, after the crisis, I believe Elevation Church has become a critical partner. We're kind of depending on your financial support.
Convoy of Hope and Elevation Church partnership goes back several years, and what the people of your church need to understand is it's because of their giving. That's what helps us help people in need.
You've given us all kinds of latitude and leeway to spend your hard-earned generosity where we see the greatest need. $30,000 feeds 10,000 people for a week. That's not nothing when we're dealing with this kind of crisis. I just couldn't be more grateful for friends like you who offer that trust and freedom.
You're probably the first call to mobilize volunteers to be on the ground with us.
Even in spite of our fear, we're going forward in the name of the Lord with his presence as our banner. God did not bring us this far to leave us. He positioned us for a miracle.
One more round of applause for Elevation Outreach. I'd like to end by saying just how much of a privilege it is that we have the opportunity to be a part of the Impact Venture Challenge. It's pretty amazing that we have been blessed to be able to serve the greater community and world through this, that God has allowed this opportunity, and everyone past, present, and future that have put time into this. I just want to take a moment and just say thank you. This has been awesome, and I'm so glad we are able to keep doing this. As we finish up voting, it's my privilege to introduce Peter Greer, President and CEO of Hope International, and the entrepreneur in residence at Messiah University. Peter?
Thank you, Brian. Faith and entrepreneurship, they have deep roots at Messiah University. Earlier today, I was talking to the great-grandson of S.R. Smith. S.R. Smith is the first president of Messiah, and I had an opportunity to talk to his great-grandson, Phil Smith, to learn more about this first president of this university. And he told me that his great-grandpa was an entrepreneur. And he told me a story that at age 15, he got involved in his first business. In his first business, he was good with penmanship. And so he would be able to be hired to write individuals endorsements or invitations, and that was his first business at age 15. A little bit later, he got into agriculture, and he did a big investment. For $310, he bought 2 mares to help with the family business, and he got involved in agriculture. And then, after a few other challenges, he hit it big. He and his wife, Elizabeth, ended up founding the Smith Noodle Company. And the first brand of noodles was the Smith, I love this, Perfection macaroni. That was the label that they had. The story of Messiah has deep roots of faith and entrepreneurship, and it was his business success, he and his wife, that allowed him to invest in the early years of Messiah. But it's not just in our roots past tense. Entrepreneurship and faith coming together, it's in our present. Earlier this week, Dr. Powers and I and many others had the opportunity to participate in something called Connecting Communities. It was organized by Chad Fry, and there were entrepreneurs in real estate like Wendell Hoover. There were individuals from a nonprofit space like Julie Heisey coming together, trying to figure out how we tackle the affordable housing crisis in central Pennsylvania using an entrepreneurial approach. Entrepreneurship and faith, it is in the roots of who we are as an institution. It is in our present. And I have the enormous privilege of teaching a class on global entrepreneurship, and I just want all of you to know that outside of what we've seen tonight, faith and entrepreneurship is so clearly in the future of the graduates. I believe that the graduates of this university, they're going to continue to look at the challenges that our world has, and they're going to see them not as reasons to put our head down and to lose hope. These are invitations that have always been invitations to show up with full creativity to figure out what might God be inviting us into to solve these problems, combining our faith and an entrepreneurial journey. So I thank our judges for living this out. I thank the students for living this out. I thank all of you for living this out. And I just want to say, there's a lot of challenges in our world, but I believe the future is so bright as we continue to bring our faith and entrepreneurship together. So let's keep doing it. Let's keep writing stories like the ones that we have just heard. And let's do it so that people realize this institution is serious about faith, serious about entrepreneurship, and in all things that Christ is preeminent. Thanks.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you to our sponsors. So now that the voting is in, the judges are going to announce our third place winner.
Our third place winner is the ODA Company.
Congratulations, guys, of course. Congratulations, Oda. Now the judges will announce our second place winners.
The second place winner is Igloo.
Awesome job, guys. Congratulations.
And I was asked to say something. I just want to let you know, I said it in the presentation when I was asking questions, you guys are gifted, you're innovative. I just continue to push out how you differentiate your product, scale it, and how you're going to integrate your faith into the culture of your business, and you'll be successful. Yep.
Thank you for that. All right, and now for the first place. So judges, will you please announce our 2021 finale winners?
I'm very excited that I get to announce the first place winner. And when they presented, I said I loved their energy and their excitement. And the first place winner is QuickSight.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations to all of our teams. Definitely put a lot of hard work into this. Thank you to the judges as well as everybody else who's behind the scenes. Definitely a fantastic year. And like I said, everybody put in a lot of effort behind the scenes, and it definitely showed tonight. So thank you to all of the teams. And then we're going to have Dr. Pete Powers close us out in prayer.
Thank you all, and thank you all for being here. The mission of Messiah, as I'm sure most of you could quote with me, right, is to educate men and women towards maturity of intellect, character, and Christian faith in preparations for lives of service, leadership, and reconciliation in church and in society. So I'm just thrilled to see these students at work doing those things already and certainly preparing to do them when they're done here. I think everyone's been thanked already. I actually want to step in and say thank you to all the students. I want to thank the judges and all you for being here. I also want to say a word of thanks to Andy Babiak and to Mindy Lang, who really put in a tremendous amount of work to get this off the ground every year. So thank you, Andy, and thank you, Mindy, as well. Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for these young lives. We thank you for their vision. We thank you that their hopes and their desires for the world, for their own businesses and the way their own businesses can impact the world, can be brought to fruition through their work and through the blessing of your Holy Spirit. Pray that you go with us this day as we leave this place to make an impact for you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you all so much for being here this evening.
All right, thank you guys. Congratulations to everyone. And once again, thank you to the judges for all the hard work and hours you guys put into reading their pitches and all the great questions that you had, as well as Dr. Babiak. Definitely a crazy year to plan this, but he pulled it together as always and made it seem like there was no problems whatsoever. And yeah, congratulations to all the teams once again, and thank you all for coming out tonight.